ready to embark on a transformative journey? Hi, I am Sharon Kumara, host of Awakened Soul. By tuning into Awakened Soul Radio, you will be inspired to shed the illusions that bind you, connect more deeply with your inner wisdom, and step into a liberating life of freedom, clarity, and purpose. Each episode, I share stories and lessons learned that help cultivate greater compassion, patience, and understanding, qualities to embody in everyday life. I invite you to join in as we expand our awareness, exploring diverse topics, and gain access to practical tools, guided exercises, and expert advice to help overcome fears and break the chains that bind us. Join us on Awakened Soul. Your journey to freedom and true self begins here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Awakened Soul Radio. I am your host, Sharon Sananda Kumara. And for those of you watching on Ascension Gateway, also welcome to the show today. And I'm really, really excited because today I am interviewing, chatting with, having a conversation with my dear friend, Ameera Beth. Hello, Ameera.
Hello, how are you doing? Good. So good to be here and good to be with you once again, my old friend.
We definitely go way back because we're both Mers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before this world. And I've got goosebumps.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And so Ameera and I connected many years ago, 20 something years ago now. And we found out we had a lot in common, which is the water world, the Mer connection. And Ameera has done so much amazing work uncovering her past, her memories and things like that. And I'm just so happy that you're on the planet with me and with us and to help us all unveil, because I get a lot of, after I started talking about the Mer world, I get a lot of emails from people who have memories of water worlds and being some kind of a water being, human type water being. And they just they thought, this is crazy until they heard someone talking about it. So I'm sure you get that type of information too, or messages from people and connections. So let's talk about your work and all the exciting things you have coming out and are doing right now.
Okay, excellent. So first of all, I'll probably clarify professionally, I go by Ameera Atlantis. I know it says Ameera Beth right here. I don't know why I didn't change that before. Ameera Atlantis is where you can find all of my work. I changed to my pen name a few years ago, kind of for fun. I was like, I'm going to put this in Facebook and just wear it for a little while, Ameera Atlantis. And so I changed my social media name, and I was like, oh, wow, this is really what I need to do. Like, this is, the label, the self-label that I need to go forward with, because I really am here and have spent the last 15 years of my life teaching about the great kingdom of Atlantis and the effect of the Mer People, the influence the Mer People have had on both Atlantis and Lemuria.
Yes. That makes me think of my memories from Atlantis. I do remember actually being a human walking the planet and a Mer.
Yes.
Both.
Yep. We shapeshifted.
Oh, okay. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
Well, we're multidimensional, so it is possible that you had an aspect in the water and in Atlantis at the same time or during one of the five incarnations. But also, I remember coming up through a portal beneath the Temple of Poseidon and shapeshifting from Mer into human form and growing legs and feet and hobbling about very awkwardly for a while with the humans, and kind of and being part of the Mer lineage that had an agreement to come help teach the Atlanteans how to integrate being a third dimensional physical being with fifth dimensional consciousness. What do you remember about that?
I do remember going through portals in the water. I have out-of-body experiences where I do that, and I come out as a Mer, a a being that's more kind of reptile, a water type of being, but not humanoid. I have
A-
those memories
an
too.
aquafarian.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And I look down at my feet and I haven't morphed into a human yet, but I'm walking around like that. I have that memory. I have lots of memories of being a human in Atlantis
Hmm.
and working in the temples and also as a healer and things like that, working in crazy, crazy chakra stuff. And I know that you work with sound healing and things like that too. And it's just things that beyond kind of what we understand here, but I understood in those memories and those
Right.
experiences. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 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 for sure. And I'm guessing that many people out there listening to us know that they are Atlantean, Lemurian, or a little bit of both, or an Aquafarian. Like those three communities are very interconnected. The Mer Kingdom was called Merlantis, and it was a sister community to the Atlanteans. But what most people don't know is, as well, they complemented each other, and the Mer people were meant to teach and help the Atlanteans. That knowledge came from Lemuria. So it was the Lemurians who passed through, and I know you feel very connected to Lemuria. I remember during Lemuria just being Mer. I don't remember being on the land. I remember being straight up Mer being but understanding that wisdom and that knowledge that they held. And I think as Mer, that's what we brought through to the Atlanteans. We taught them about their 13 chakras. We taught them about their aura. We gave them the Andara healing crystals. It was really the Lemurian and Murian lineage that came through and really helped to develop the Atlantean communities, Atlantean societies. And do you remember you and I, a million years ago, it was really only probably about 15 or 18 years ago, went and saw Diana Cooper in Portland. We went, oh my God, okay. She came to a metaphysical store. I think it was Healing Waters in Portland. And you and I went and saw her. And I was like brand new to all of this. I had just discovered I was a mer being and Atlantis. And you like really took me under your wing, under your fin. And we went, and she had just released the book Discover Atlantis.
Yes,
And so
I
we
remember now.
went and we
Yes.
attended her lecture. And we met her. We
Mhm.
met her in the store, and she was just this really sweet, demure, English little old English lady. She was so sweet, and we sat through her lecture and listened to her speak, her channel about her book about Discover Atlantis. And I remember my brain just going, and I bought her book. I had bought her book, and that was really Diana Cooper. Really was like a huge kickstart for me
Mhm.
to remember and explore. And, I went through many past life regressions. That's how I remembered I was a Mer.
Mhm.
And took past life regression training. And it was really like her foundational information that blew open my soul records and helped me to go in and go deeper about my own remembrances.
Nice. I do remember her. I actually have a couple of her books. After that one, I loved it so much. I got another. Yeah. She's she's amazing. She has some really good exercises in her books too on how to
Yeah.
wake up your memories. Definitely. Yeah, she's a little short lady, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Yes.
a tiny little
Yes.
lady.
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, totally. That's awesome. I can't believe I didn't remember that at first. Okay. So you're here to on the planet again to bring in the new Atlantis.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I got goosebumps again. Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they hear, there's a lot of people where the idea of Atlantis triggers them, um, especially people who have a connection to Lemuria,
Mhm.
because they're in the one of the five incarnations of Atlantis. Atlantis was an experiment that had five different incarnations. There was an incarnation of Atlantis and Lemuria existing side by side, and there was a great war because the scientifically minded Atlanteans forgot who they were and
Mhm.
decided to try and enslave the Lemurians who held the feminine and the earth energy. And there was this great war that broke out between them. And the Lemurians, in their blood and their bones and their DNA, remember how horrible that colonization, I'll call it, was for them. And I really believe that, we're all working to get to reunite our masculine and feminine in this reality, right? That's like some of the big work, balancing our masculine and feminine. I believe that that split between Atlantis and Lemuria, which held the masculine and feminine balance, that's why that those communities incarnated together. That split between Atlantis and Lemuria on the macrocosm, I believe, is what created the split within us in the microcosm. And so ever since then, we have been trying to return to that harmonization, that homeostasis, that there were some beings in Lemuria that were very feminine, some in Atlantis that were very masculine, but integrated on both levels. And then there were many that were more androgynous, that kind of held the center. So we had this whole spectrum of beings, being consciousness, how they incarnated, and how they all weaved together their tapestry of harmonization to set the grids and the templates for future generations or future incarnations. And when that was torn apart, it really had a reverberation out to the entire universe. And
Mhm.
there are many Lemurian people identify with the Lemurian communities that feel some kind of way about the Atlanteans. It's a shadow they carry, like a bitterness or fear that if Atlantis comes back into power, or the idea of Atlantis or the technology of Atlantis, that there's a trauma that is going to happen again, or that the AI and the science and the lack of respect for nature, which was the play out in the Atlantean community, in the end of all five incarnations, is going to remerge. So I really like to talk to everyone out there, especially those who have that fear and that trauma in their cells, because it looks like it's happening again. If
Mhm.
we it doesn't take much observation to recognize that technology and science is once again really infiltrating and usurping, or trying to usurp at least, connection to nature, natural connection.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I believe, and I speak a lot about the course correction of the timelines, like re course correcting the timelines of Atlantis, creating a new outcome. We can't do that if we don't do this again, right?
Yeah.
We can't heal what we don't come back karmically to participate in,
Right.
and work together, collapse the programs, collapse the fear, heal our individual shadows and our individual fears and traumas, which, in this lifetime, it's supersized. Like, we're bringing everything in from every lifetime, I think.
Right. Totally.
Multidimensional cosmic super beings, we're having turbo karma. Most of us, if you've had a really hard life, like a really not only are you probably transmitting for your ancestors, for yourself, but also for your other aspects who
Yeah.
on some other timeline or reality have participated in some sort of sorcery or fuckery, right? That has created karma for you and reverberated that for your entire collective of your oversoul. So in this reality, I am here to help act as a bridge, a reuniter, an understander, a liaison, and harmonizer between Atlantis and Lemuria, because I know that I carry both, even though I'm more connected to my Atlantean Mer lineage. I know that I am part. We're all part of the whole anyway, right? We're
Mhm.
all part of the totality of everything. I have an aspect of me that existed at some point in Atlantis that was a genetic scientist. Did horrible things in the name of science and
Yeah.
DNA and melding creatures. So not only do I have like benevolent, loving priestess type beings, I have perpetrator aspects also, that I am here to heal and transmute their karma because they can't do it for themselves. So I went, I'll do it.
It sounds like me. That's what I said.
I'll do it.
I love
Right.
this.
And I know you did that too. Like I know you have stories of your own lineage and other aspects. So here we are. Here we are in this reality, in this timeline, tapping into these other versions of realities while trying to like stay grounded, right, in 3D here and work the as above and as below and do the healing, the transmuting, the teaching, the topic, talking, really putting our necks out there on the
Hmm.
line, helping to bring understanding and also at the same time helping to heal our own stuff.
Right. Totally. Oh, that was so well said. Thank you. Thank you, Mira. That kind of puts it in a nutshell, doesn't it? And I always say we come here to heal what we haven't healed. Um, Now the Atlantis thing reminds me of an experience I had 20 years ago or so when I was going through my quickening. And I was sitting with my counsel, and they told me that I in a group
Hmm.
are here to right the wrongs of Atlantis. Those,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was naive at the time. I wasn't aware. And I said, "Well, what happened in Atlantis?" And they looked at each other like, let's just say it wasn't good, that type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You'll
so,
you'll find out. Wait for it.
so yeah, just keep on doing what you're doing. You'll know. Okay. So ever since then, I've realized that we are moving into that timeline you're talking about where we've come back. Whenever I say come back, it always tells me that we're going back into the past. So we are
Yeah.
time traveling, right? Yeah. And our future self is our high vibrational self. And so we're back here to set it right this time.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you. Definitely.
Yeah, and we knew before we reincarnated that we are eternal beings. There is no death.
Hmm.
We knew. How can you fail if there's no death? You can't, right? And so we're like, no matter what happens, and we believe the very best can happen, there is no death. We are eternal beings.
Right.
And so we came in with our multidimensional superpowers from all these other aspects of our being who had little gifts and things. They're all us, right? To
Right.
help us remember, to help us pull in. And we became the living libraries that no one could burn or destroy. They can destroy the body, they can destroy the temples, they can destroy the libraries. We are the living libraries. We are the internal libraries no one can burn or destroy. And as long as we're willing to keep coming back with our DNA and our cellular memories and our soul and our consciousness and be here and re-embed that over and over again into the timelines, we will be successful.
Hmm. Yes. Beautiful. So those that are watching, reincarnation isn't such a bad thing.
Well,
It's kind of like if we don't get it right, we have another chance to come back and get it
yeah,
right again. Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Yes,
So let's talk about your new ebook. You have a book out.
I
Congratulations.
do. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. This is my legacy and a book that has been a work in progress for 10 years. And it's taken this long because, as we spiritually grow and mature and learn, like not the same being that I was 10 years ago or 5 years ago. I keep thinking the book was done, and then I learn more, or I drop a programming, or I figure something else out, and Spirit trusts me with more information. And when Spirit continues to trust you with more information because you show up every day with your sacred yes, right?
Mhm.
And you're willing to fall down and go and get back up and go through the trials and go through the shaking your fists at God and why am I here? And why isn't this, when you walk in faith and when you continue with the creator in faith, no matter what happens, Spirit trusts you with more and offers you more. And so, me as a living library, I have developed a course. It's actually an e-course, a learning course for people out there to help themselves spiritually, physically, emotionally, and energetically. It's called Activate Your Atlantean Light Body and DNA. It's a course in the reconnection to your Atlantean and Lemurian lineage and the wisdom that you carry within your cells and DNA.
Mm.
And this is very good for Mer people too.
Mhm.
So you can go in. I talk about things like the history of Atlantis and Lemuria, like what happened during Atlantis. Why was the Atlantean experiment even conceived? And what was the fallout and why? I talk about the Mer people, the influence of the Mer people. So if you consider yourself to be any kind of an aquafarian, you'll definitely resonate with the fact that, we fell to earth with the liquid plasma light from Nantucket that seeded first waters. We
Mm.
were here since the beginning, the very beginning with what was we would call the dolphins or the whales or the version of cetaceans that came whenever that happened, right?
Wow.
And prepared the earth. Water was first element. And then we go into the lineages of Atlantis and the seven sacred laws of Atlantis, which again, I first learned from Diana Cooper. And I've taken those seven spiritual laws and kind of parlayed them or expanded on them and weaved them into how we can resurrect and heal the Atlantean timelines through the law of one, which of course is the ultimate law. That was the number one law in Atlantis, that all are equal in the eyes of the creator.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we can bring back and embody that concept and all the seven spiritual laws, then we as the living libraries bring back those codings that now not only allow us to ascend individually, but ripple effect out and help the collective. So then I teach my students, and there's 3 videos, by the way, that go along with this. It's about 9 hours of video teachings broken up into 3 videos that go along with the book. So you have the book to actually read, you have the text, and then you have me and the videos taking you through the meditations, the exercises, actually reading from the book and expanding on the book. And so then we move into the aura. We have 7 layers of our aura. And our auras are, our sacred space, that bubble of light that exists around
Mhm.
us. And each one of those layers correspond with a 7 spiritual law and the 7 major energy centers in your body. So I weave together this teaching about how embodying the awareness of these laws, like for instance, the law of karma is the 7th law. Everything has an equal and opposite effect, cause and effect. And weave that into the first layer of the aura, which is right above your skin, that connects to your root chakra. How all that is correlated. We do meditations, we go into that aura layer and into that energy center. And what do you have personally sitting in this layer that is affecting you karmically that you're here to transmute? What are you here to release? What are you here to clear? What programs are you here to clear that will bring you in alignment with your physical body, with that root chakra, and also with the idea of cause and effect and turn karma into dharma?
Mm.
Dharma is our service. When we
Mhm.
start healing our karma, we stop having these really extreme lessons, things that happen to us that we have to learn to navigate and manage. We start moving into our dharma, which is our service from the planet. And by the way, karma can be a good thing. You can accrue good karma,
Right.
just
That's
like
always,
karma that doesn't feel so good,
yeah.
right? And when you start gathering or being aware of your positive karma, your dharma, that begins to affect all the layers of your aura and all your entire 13 chakra template. And so I go into the 13 chakra template. We start at the earth star chakra beneath the feet to the 12th, which is the golden gateway above the head. And then the 13th is the sacred soul, which is your master energy center between the heart and the solar plexus. And what does that mean to come into your 13th level of mastery? Go through all those energy centers. And then I take you in deeper into sacred geometry. Metatron's cube, which you have behind you. There are 13 spheres in Metatron's cube. They all
Yeah.
correlate to an Atlantean chakra,
Mm.
with the center sphere being the master chakra. So I draw a template. There's an actual blueprint of all the different energy centers, how they're laid out on Metatron's cube as the feminine, where the lines are the masculine, connecting, because of course you have the feminine, you have to have the balance of the masculine, right? Masculine has to have a destination. The destination is always the feminine. The
Mhm.
penetration of the feminine and the masculine is what creates third or creates life. So I weave all of that together and teach my students, teach you how you can embody that into your auric field, into your reality, to use as a template for your own personal ascension.
Wow. That's amazing.
Pretty
And
cool,
it's
huh?
very cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're blowing me away. I definitely will be investing in that. I'm telling you. Yeah, that sounds so amazing.
Yeah, it really is. It's really this like complicated compilation. And what I really wanted is for you sitting in your own home at your own comfort to
Yeah.
go through the program and have something like if you need if you need, you know, a third layer of the aura, which is the layer of intention. What's your intention tied to your solar plexus? Tied to, the law of it. If you need to go back and revisit that for yourself, you have something you can return to over and over again where your personal work is.
Yes. And where can people find your book?
Oh, on my website.
Okay.
AmeeraAtlantis.com is my website. And then there is a tab for Activate Your Atlantean Light Body and DNA. And I'll actually pop in a code down. I'll give you a code that you can pop
Okay.
into the text for a half price. Just launched the book, so I would like to get it out there to as many people as I can. It's downloadable. And yeah, I'll make sure that there's a code for your users. I think it's
Okay.
activate in all capitals. Yes.
Okay. I'll put
And
it in the
then,
details, put
yeah,
everything down.
so anybody who's interested in it can go and click on that and receive this program and see what you can do using your own devices with my voice as a guide to take you through to the next level.
Hmm. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going back to what you said about that the water beings were the first, right? And that I always wondered, I kind of figured this, I knew this in the back of my mind because that I went to the water world at my near death experience that Christ took
Right.
me to what I understand was called Opus. And so that confirms for me why he took me to a water world. It was the birthplace
Yeah.
of who we are.
Right.
Yeah, and I've got goosebumps as I talk about it. And his sign is the fish as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
Yeah. And so
All the everything connects, like the puzzle
it
peoples
does.
come in, the tapestry comes together. And sometimes it just takes like dialogues like this for those like, oh, all right, okay. And
Right.
that's the amazing thing about, having these conversations and exploring new worlds, because that's what we are, is we are explorers.
Hmm.
Again, we
Hmm.
understand that there's no death. We understand that we are here as creators. That's what we do. I mean, if we
Right.
are sitting in some reality right now, like getting straight A's and hitting home runs every day, I think we get bored.
Totally.
So, you know what? I'm going to go down and do that Earth thing again.
And then we're here and we're like, what was I thinking?
What was I
Why didn't
thinking?
you let me?
Exactly, exactly. So, also in my book, I do teachings about our oversoul, which is that part of you that is eternally disconnected to God, to the Creator, that holds all aspects of your oversoul, and how your oversoul sends what's called your light body, which is a bridge of light that comes down into your aura, and that's where you receive your download. downloads and your starseed DNA activations, like when your time lock goes off and all of a sudden you have a time lock today of a realization of, oh, that comes down from your oversoul, from your starseed family through your light body down into your auric field for you to be integrated in as a part of you increasing and holding light. So amazing when these moments happen.
They are definitely. It's a huge light bulb when it goes off, and it helps confirm that we're never not connected. You know,
Right.
yeah, we get
And unexpected
distracted,
moments.
right? Yeah. I mean, we get distracted once in a while, and sometimes it feels like we're not being supported, or we feel alone, or something like that.
Yeah.
But we're always connected, and we always are surrounded. I've learned that many, many, many times. Yeah,
Hmm.
totally.
Again, it's that faith and staying
Hmm.
in that faith and that trust. I know that I've gone through a lot of ebb times, and we like to be in the flow. Like I'm a
Right.
Pisces, I'm a Mer. I want to be in the flow and moving. Water needs to move, right?
Hmm.
Movement. And when I go through these ebb periods in my life where it almost feels like stagnation, where there's
Yeah.
no movement and there has just to be stillness, and you got to sit on the bottom of the ocean in the dark and in the stillness and in the quiet, and really trust that we are still fully connected and that there is movement happening in unseen realms that are conspiring in your favor to take you up off the ocean and move you into that next quantum leap or quantum flow of what's coming next.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's what doesn't surprise me anymore, but when I have out of body experiences, the first thing I do is look for water
Yeah,
to dive into.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's dream time. I'm in water a lot. Yeah, totally. So, let's talk about your work because
Okay.
you're also a practitioner, a very amazing practitioner as well.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. So I'm a advanced level past life regression therapist. And you remember Julia Ingram.
Mhm.
She was my teacher. And she's written a lot of fabulous books. I don't even know if she is still living, but she gave me the past life regression where I went into the water and became Mer, found out that I was a Mer being. And back then I didn't think mermaids were a real thing. I'm like, this woman's going to think I'm crazy. I'm a mermaid. I'm a mermaid. And she's like, tell me more, right? So it was that initiation into the how expansive past life regression therapy is, which past lives are really simultaneous lives. It's all happening at once. But going into that other reality is what inspired me to become an advanced past life regression. And I call it past life progression now because I think we're progressing, right? We're not even regressing, we're progressing into these other realities. So I help people enter other worlds and realms and reality to find out more information about their soul. Soul gifts, soul mission, soul purpose, why you have fears or phobias, anything you want to talk to your spiritual team about and find out more about what do I do. Sometimes when we're left to our own devices, it can
Mhm.
be challenging to hear the voice of your soul. Sometimes we need a guide. So that's where I come in. I also help people with activating their 13 chakra template and connecting to their oversoul and light body and clearing I'm very big on auras, aura clearings, or helping people understand what your aura is for. So
Mhm.
maybe you don't become a sponge, maybe you become instead a vibrational generator instead of a vibrational absorber,
Mm.
which how
Perfect.
many of us do that, right? Right.
Right.
So learning to navigate, manage, open, clear, heal, even protect your auric field. So your sacred space is yours, is authentically your frequency and your vibration. So those are kind of the main components or tenets of my business, along with intuitive. I'm an intuitive, and just sitting down with people and talking spirit and see where I can help either offer guidance or information in whatever direction or situations they are traversing.
Nice. Beautiful. And share again where people can find you.
AmeeraAtlantis.com. Also Facebook under Ameera Atlantis, Mer Healer, and Instagram, Ameera underscore 11. That's where you can find me and anything that I do in life.
Nice. Let's talk about the temple behind you. This is your temple, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is. And when I envision Atlantis in the Mer world, this is very similar to what I see, a version that I see in my mind's eye, just something very opulent and beautiful, not too ostentatious. But the very clean and the aquas and the blues are my colors, and the pillars, representing the seven spiritual laws and all of that, and the gold too. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Did you see, is first of
Oh,
all,
we have the same colors. You have the same
we,
colors on yours.
of course, we're mermaids.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
Atlantean mermaids. So, did you see Aquaman, the first one? I
I
haven't seen the
I
second one.
did.
What'd you
Yes.
think about that movie?
Well, let me tell you, like the tagline in that movie was Atlantis Rising, and I have been saying that for years. It's been my Atlantis is rising, Atlantis rising. And when I heard him speak that, I'm like, I told you. Hollywood had to go and steal but it
Right.
was. So there's so much right now. We have Moana, we have Aquaman, we have remakes of The Little Mermaid, and even though these are all Hollywoodized,
Hmm.
mermaids are everywhere. Mer
Yeah.
People, Atlantis, speaking about Atlantis, like it's all coming from the collective unconscious into the conscious.
Yeah.
So as much as I go, ooh, Hollywood, that they are bringing forward the idea that Atlantis, Lemuria, and Mer people, like, we're not mythical.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like soft disclosure, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what we would call it, like Star Trek and all those shows.
Hmm.
Yeah, Star Wars. I know when I saw it, I've seen it a couple times, two or three times, I guess. It really buzzed in me. You know what I mean? It really touched me
Yeah.
because a lot of it was so familiar. I mean, the storyline is, of course, good
Yeah.
and evil, but it has to be the hero's journey. Has Can't make a movie without the hero's journey, and isn't that's what life's all about anyway. But yeah, what do you think about MERS? I want to talk about MERS real quick.
Okay.
In your memory as a MER, do you have hair?
Oh, yes.
Okay, because I do too. And my mate has beautiful black,
Yes.
amazing hair.
I
Okay.
have very long, dark purple hair. Matter of fact, and I was told once by a channel that to become human, so Ariel had to give up her voice, I had to give up my hair.
Mm,
That was a trade-off that I had to, release my very long hair. It was cut very short and floated away, and then I catapulted up out of the water onto land because I wanted to be human. That's the story that I'm told.
okay, but you have beautiful hair.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So bringing the MER into your psyche and your body brought back your hair, right?
Well, I would love to have hair down to my waist or below again. My hair won't grow that long.
Yeah. Okay.
This is about as long as it gets, which is long enough. I mean, I have pretty
Mhm.
good hair, take a lot of collagen, but I believe that part of my, karmic contract maybe was that I got to be human, and this is as long as my hair was going to get for whatever reason, and I'll get my long hair back after this incarnation and after my mission is complete.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I remember having dark hair myself. I didn't have blonde hair. I had long dark hair, and my mate, beautiful black,
Hmm.
gorgeous. I mean, we were just so gorgeous. I remember, well, looking down at my body and thinking, I can't believe how strong I am, and
Yeah.
feeling how strong I am. It's just amazing. Sitting on some rocks and
Yeah.
just sitting there, and even and I get emotional thinking about this. I look down and I see my baby nursing my
Yeah.
little
Right.
baby, Mer baby. And it's like, this is crazy. This is real.
Yeah.
This is when I was having all these experiences. This is real. And I was remembering it. Yeah.
Yeah, and what a lot of people also don't understand that the modern Mer iconography of these very beautiful human-like Mer, most of us, we don't look like that. Aquafarians, Mer people come in many, many varieties.
Hmm.
Some have furred skin, some have snake-like skin, some have smooth skin, depending on where they are in the planet and what their lineage is. Most of us also have very like kind of big bulbous eyes, like by human standards, we're not attractive, but we think we're beautiful, right?
Right.
Some mer have are bald. They have no hair. And so the variety of aqua beings out there in the universe is, it's as big as you can imagine. Our iconography. I remember when I had to show myself to humans, I didn't want to scare them. So it was a shape shifting into something they could identify with. When we
Mm.
transformed onto land, we had to look human so we could blend in with them and be with them and not shock them, right?
Right.
And so, when you see these mermaids that look so human, that's a human creation. That's a human, a man creation of what they want the mermaids to look like, that big, sexy, big, beautiful breasted.
Hmm.
And we would appear that way for them. But in reality, we have many shapes and sizes and features. And like I said, we think we are beautiful, but some humans might be very shocked if they saw us
Right.
in our true form.
Right. Yeah. I had a reality shift where I was aquafarian, I guess is what you're saying. And I've seen myself as with the like the snake skin type of
Yeah.
being. Yeah. And I came out through a portal on land and was walking, and I during the experience I believe I was having a memory. I was taken in kidnapped and used for experiments by
Mm.
humans, and
Ah,
then
dang, I hope that wasn't me in Atlantis. But
I
I
know.
am so sorry.
I know, me too. Hey, I was there too. So, but then not much later, I had another reality shift where I joined these purple beings, long-legged purple beings. Have you seen them before?
No.
Yeah, they're purple, they're like lavender purple beans, and they were telling me that I was part of who they are. And our mission was to rescue this reptiloid, this Aquafarian, this male, who was a leader of his community, who was kidnapped because
Hmm.
his people were starving because the water was poisoned around that area. The fish were dying and they couldn't eat, and so pollution or something like that. And and so we went and rescued him, and it was an extremely emotional experience for me. It's crazy. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but these long-legged purple beings told
Mm.
me, look at you, because I was asking them, who are we?
Hmm.
What are you? And they were saying the League of something like Mar something I kept thinking Mars, and they said no, not Mars, the League of something.
Yeah.
And it was like Narn or Marn or something like that, or Mon. And so we rescued him, and I that was, it's like a story from a storybook, but it was real.
Right.
I took both forms. It's crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah. Amira, we still have time. Yay. Okay. What else would you like to talk about? I know you have lots that you wanted to share.
Um, okay. So let's talk about course correcting the Spire of Atlantis and a little bit more about what that means.
Okay.
So doing the reversal of the timelines. So the Atlanteans came in as fifth dimensional beings in a third dimensional body. And that's a timeline, the iteration of Atlantis I'm most connected to is the fifth one, the final one, sometimes called the Golden Age of Atlantis. That was the timeline or the iteration of Atlantis that, was most recent, 13,000 years ago, and has affected the universe, the realities, the most deeply because of the way it ended, because of the way Atlantis fell. And, those of us who remember being there at the fall felt responsible, felt
Mhm.
like it was. I work with a lot of healers and teachers who feel personally responsible for the fall of Atlantis. And I'm
Yeah.
like, girl, come on,
Yeah.
you're not that special. No, no, but there's this responsibility that we failed. So when I say not that special, what I want people to know is that it was a collective effort and
Yes.
it was not a failure. It was simply an experiment that went one way or the other. So when you have an
Mhm.
experiment, you have to have a variable, right? And the variable was the dark entities.
Yeah.
We knew before we came that it was going to be a utopian society. We're all going to be getting straight A's and batting 1,000. Life was going to be perfect and peaceful. You don't learn and grow in that dynamic. There needed to be some kind of a test to see if the Atlanteans could stay in their fifth dimensional consciousness while in a third dimensional body. And a third dimensional human body would have five senses, water and the roses and the lovemaking and all of that, and emotions.
Hmm.
Emotions are really what make us human. Emotions are really what we have to navigate our emotional body for ascension because your thoughts create, but it's the emotion that goes along with those thoughts. If you have a very powerful emotion that goes with a thought, you're going to produce something from that, right? No matter what that emotion, that's going to come up out of you, that thought with that emotion. If it's a really strong one, if it's a really good one, maybe some good things are going to happen. If it's a really like malevolent or dark or angry thought, karma cause and effect is going to produce. So it was really the navigation of their emotional bodies that needed to be taught to them, and that had to happen through the insertion of ego, um, jealousy, anger, all those darker emotions that they didn't come in holding, but developed as life happened. And that came through the what we call darker energies or entities who were allowed to come into Atlantis to see what would happen during the experiment. Okay. And so as these energies, these entities came in when I say dark and light, that's just how we differentiate the two. I really understand it all comes from creator and it was all a grand plan, but that's just
Hmm.
how we differentiate the contrast, right? When these darker energies came in and began to plant seeds of doubt in the mind of the scientists, of the priests and priestess, hey, that scientist, he's not as good as you. Why is he living in the same house you are? Why is he wearing the same clothes when you're really so much better than he is? It was like, I'm paraphrasing, but you know what I mean. It was
Hmm.
little infiltrations like that to test the Atlanteans to see if they could remember the law of one,
Hmm. Yeah.
that all are one, equal in the eyes of the Creator. There is no competition. What I do is for the greater good, not
Yeah.
solely for my individual good. So when that started to happen and over a series of events in time and Atlantis began to collapse, the natural disasters came, the technology became more powerful than the spirituality. And those of us who were, and you and I probably both had an aspect there who was trying to hold it all together.
Yeah.
Remembering the light, praying, meditating, doing everything we could, terrified because when you go into fear and terror over something happen, it means you too have forgotten the law of one and forgotten your connection to God. So in that way, we all forgot to trust. And we forgot we are eternal beings. And that's one of the main differences between Atlantis and Lemuria. The Lemurians never forgot.
Hmm.
When the Lemurian experiment was over, they held hands and sang is the information that I've been given. They knew they were eternal and they went together and they prayed and they did not incur the same karma the Atlantean civilization did. Okay, so while all these, priests and priestesses or whoever was remembering the light and trying to hold the Atlantis instead of surrendering, saying, you know what, this is the completion of another timeline, of another incarnation with spirit, and we shall go on to what is next to come and trust the creator. We died with that program in our brains. And so this is why so many people feel responsible personally for Atlantis. So I
Yeah.
help others remember the truth. We're eternal. Not that we shouldn't take what we're doing seriously, because it is important, but that God has his hands in this, no matter what it looks like, right? No matter what the exterior circumstances seem to look like. So, in this experiment, we are reversing the experiment by we are third dimensional consciousness beings in a three-dimensional body, remembering how to go back to 5D. We're reversing. We're doing it the other way around, which has never been done before. They're like, well, 5 times didn't work out, so let's try it this way. Let's be 3D beings in a 3D body, and you have to go back up that spiral of
Mm.
remembrance to embody fifth dimensional consciousness in a 3D body. That's how we reverse the spiral, at least in part of it.
Wow. You're blowing my mind. In the Law of One talks about that in the book, The Law of One,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the writings or the channeling material. Yeah.
So we
Moving up the spiral.
Yes,
Yeah.
moving up the spiral. So
Yeah.
you have all these other aspects that of you of Sharon and all these versions of reality that karmically are looking in on you. Some are helping you, some are maybe a little bit to your detriment. You know, they're all working, and it's up to us to use our discernment, because we all have entities and energies around us that maybe we feel we communicate with or communicate with us.
Hmm.
Everything's kind of a test to see how can I play on your ego, or how can I give you this information and have you not walk over to the dark side? How can you use your discernment, remember who you are as a single soul being, and not allow yourself to be infiltrated by these other beings that are around you, talking story, giving you information, maybe trying to help you, maybe trying to take you off your path. And that
Hmm.
happens in the spirit world, and it happens in reality also, like 3D. We have all of this.
Right.
And at the same time, attempting to help clear the cause and effect karma of our other aspects, so the totality of our oversoul can ascend. Not just you on this line of time, but all these other portions of you that maybe didn't cross over,
Yeah.
maybe didn't have resolution to their lifetime, maybe are looking at you to help them. So it's a lot.
It is a lot. And that's why soul retrieval is so important.
Yeah,
Healing fragmented parts of us, which, we both do that work. It's so
right.
important because we, I've had these visions of, as we spiral up, as we move up, like pulling parts, all of us, not
Yes,
just of my parts, but all of our legacy ancestry and those around us. Because, like you said, we all are one, so we're not leaving anyone behind.
right.
We're pulling
Anybody who's
everyone.
ready, anybody who gives their sacred yes to ascension and shows up every day, because you got to do the work.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
gets a pass. And the work is hard, dude.
No, right? Yeah.
But so worth it. And I think family and tribal and ancestral karma, I mean, I think that you agree is some of the most challenging work that we have here to do on this planet.
I agree. And that's why not everyone wants to do it because
Yeah,
it's not easy.
yeah. But
So,
the reward, the reward, and I've been going through my own literal, 3D Earth family healing in this lifetime over many years. And it has been, I mean, it's been a bitch, I'm not gonna lie, because
mhm.
most of us have birth families that didn't quite understand us, or many have birth families where there's been trauma and a lot of like things that don't feel so good. If we can really look at those and also look at where we have participated in this lifetime and other lifetimes in co-creating what happened and come out of that victim paradigm, that victim perpetrator contrast,
Yeah,
that's really where the keys to the kingdom are lying, is with our own self accountability, self authority, and coming out of the idea of autocratic leadership, meaning somebody who knows more than me, a king, a queen, a president, whoever, a parent is going to save me, help me, knows more than me. and reclaim our internal authority and reclaim our sovereignty as we get, we have natural and alienable lights from the Creator. There are natural laws that govern our sovereignty, that give us our birthright. Instead of giving our power away to some other authority figure at the
Mhm.
top who we think is going to restore our sovereignty and restore our rights, and taking that back for ourselves, which is very difficult for people. Most people want someone to tell them what to do.
Right,
Okay.
right.
You got to learn to mow your own grass. You got to learn to put your own shopping cart away. Self-authority.
Mhm.
That's what it comes down to. Nobody else is going to save you or do it for you. Nobody.
Right.
It's between you and God, right? And maybe the community and the frequency of the community that you build around you to help support you, whether that's etheric or 3D.
Yes. Perfect. Wise words.
Thank you. I try to live it every day. I try, do my best.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, sometimes it's not as easy as other days, but as long as we are, that's our intention.
Yeah.
We're
It's the sacred yes and intention every day to try again.
totally. That's what Atlantis is all about. Hopefully, and I know that this is the one.
I do too. I
Yeah,
really know that to my core.
me too.
I think that there is always going to be a version of Earth that is in a karmic cycle where souls come to learn and heal and do whatever they want to do, play around on this Earth plane. But I really feel like there is a version, or maybe multiple versions of this Earth that are ascending into the new Earth, Atlantis and Lemuria. Yeah, back to utopia.
Totally. Yeah, I had a conversation with the Great Mother during a meditation. Excuse me, I'm getting over a head cold. Uh, where she told me that we've gone over the tipping point and that
Yeah,
the human body has been upgraded
yeah.
and we have to do our work.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're,
Continue to do the work.
totally. Well, thank you for your work and how you're helping people and bringing us up the spiral to the new Atlantis. It's
Yes.
exciting. It really is exciting because Atlantis before the fall was an amazing, amazing
Yeah.
era.
Amazing experience. Yeah. Just, it was the garden. It
Yep.
really was.
Hmm. Yeah, I've got goosebumps. Yeah, totally. So we're headed that way. And the golden age, you probably know this, that the what is it? Hindu philosophy or the Hindu philosophy of the different ages, all the
Hmm.
ages, we've come out of the Kali Yuga, which is the lowest vibrational one, and we're moving into the golden age, which is the first yuga or
Yes.
era. Yeah, and it's the best one.
Yeah.
And some engineers, by computing timelines, feel that this is 2025, around 2025, 2026 is when it's beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Freedom,
Hmm.
liberation and truth and
Perfect.
love. Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
and I wanted to mention in my book, there is a dedication page, and I've listed you on my dedication page
Oh,
as a soul on this earth that has helped me to arrive or be where I am coming into today. Because during those years, I was trying to figure it all out, Sharon. And you were so wonderful and so like mothering or big sister like to me. And you really opened a lot of doors and gave me confidence. And so for that, I thank you. And again, you're on my page of gratitude of the list of people who have really shown up for me on my journey.
oh, well, thank you so much. Mwah. Thank you, thank you. I mean, you've done amazing work and you're this huge, bright, shining star, and you just blow me away all the time with the things that you manifest and your life, I mean, yeah.
Kauai's been
So
really
much.
good to me. I've been here 9.5 years, and
Wow.
it has been, a really supersized, amazing, sometimes extremely challenging journey here on this island.
I love Kauai.
Yes.
That's
Well,
my
you're the one
next
who
trip.
helped me get here.
Okay.
You helped me with that too. You probably don't remember, but we'll talk later.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you were part of that manifestation as well.
Nice. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Thank you, my sweet sister friend. Thank you, my Mer sister. Yeah, this has been amazing, and we'll have to do it again. Too much time in between,
Yes.
but I know
Thank
you're a
you for
busy
having me
lady.
on. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. And do you have any parting words for the audience?
I'll just reiterate again that you are a multidimensional cosmic super being, or you wouldn't be here
Yeah,
at this time. You got all the goods. You are the living libraries. No one can ever burn or destroy. So just keep showing up with your sacred yes every day and believe and thank you.
thank you, Amira. And thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Aloha.
I'm Sharon Kumara, and you have been listening to Awakened Soul Radio on Transformation Talk Radio. I invite you to embark on a transformative journey with us. Awakened Soul is a safe, sacred space for exploring the depths of our consciousness. Each episode, you will be inspired to shed the illusions that bind you, connect more deeply with your inner wisdom, and step into a liberating life of freedom, clarity, and purpose. To connect with me, visit kumaraacademy.com.